men are really funny that way because like, well, there's a lot of studies we can look up, but if you have a drive and a passion for something, you have more testosterone. And
which makes sense.
And so like, you know, if you're passionate about something, you're goal oriented, your testosterone levels will be higher because that's what your body has a reason for doing things.
We'll do like a little podcast episode. It'd be kind of an interesting one.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
And then we'll do like a shirt off or something.
Yeah.
Here we go.
So we do need like tomorrow morning, we do need, because like give Dave 48 hours or so, and then we'll get you a training plan via our group text.
Cool.
And but to first do that is, I mean, he could probably make some of it up, but we do need we need some project pictures, AM weight, just wake up, pee, get on the scale.
Okay.
And so once a week, starting out, maybe a little bit more closer door-to-door con, you'll just do like your check-ins and Dave will tell you when he wants them once per week. So like today is, we'll start out, my check-in day just randomly falls on Wednesday right now with Dave also. So I'm going to check in tomorrow morning with him. And so we just need weight, pictures, and then he'll probably ask you about like what you're eating and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you have any idea what you're eating, that'd be good. If you have no idea what you're eating, I'll just
a little bit of a reference, but we can give you.
We can. The best way is
do you want to use MyFitnessPal or something?
We could do. MyFitnessPal is kind of great.
Hold on, ready?
Yep.
Podcast is live. Here we go. We're listening. If you're like, what the hell is going on? And you just heard that beginning part. That was actually a really interesting part of a beginning of a podcast. So I'm here with Brad and Dave, and these guys run Vitality, which is kind of a cool heart. And it's a supplemental kind of coaching, hormonal therapy, fitness, physique, right? Like, I guess how do you
can I give like a mini intro? So basically what happened is I've had on my big goal list, which I know you're a fan of, on my big goal list was to own a TRT hormone replacement therapy clinic. I won't bore you with the story. It all got thrown together. A bunch of stars aligned with my previous jobs and then connections in it.
Previous jobs, door to door, guys. This is a fellow door to door dude. How long did you do door to door?
I believe 13, 14 years.
Guys, so my previous jobs, I don't know, 14 years of knocking on doors, which is like the dream, right? Like everybody doesn't want to do 14 years or 25 years of door to door. It's like you want to do door to door so that it can help you foundationally go maybe chase other dreams, which, you know what I mean? Like, I think that's the cool part is you can go on a fiber blitz still today or a solar blitz or whatever. And
which I did just in the last not very long ago.
Yeah. Right? It's like, if I'm starting a business, I'm scrapping this shit together. I can self-fund it through commissions. And then in the 3 weeks I'm not blitzing, go put energy towards it. You know what I mean?
That's kind of what I've been doing. I have to share, my mom came into town and she goes, well, are there other, this is kind of what I've learned from door to door. She goes, are there other companies in Utah doing this? I go, oh yeah, tons. And just fear overcame her face. She was like, oh no, like, what are you going to do? I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm going to do it. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, just door knock. Yeah.
Everybody else can do it. Like, I'm going to come in at a better price point. I'm going to serve the groups of people who I associate with. So like the bodybuilding community and the door-to-door community that I love so much. So that's what it started out as. And my passion was, I've been on hormone replacement therapy since 2017. I had really low testosterone levels, got on it, was charged a bunch of money. Doctor didn't know what he was doing. So I've learned a lot since then. And I wanted to bring that to the sales industry. Optimization of men's health in the future, probably some women's health as well. And the coaching side of it, which we're going to be doing with you, a big transformation, I was kind of pushed into. I've realized that all these guys need help with their nutrition to show up. Their health markers are out of whack. And so that's kind of how I got into the coaching side of it. So the main business is the hormone replacement therapy. And then we're going to be working our way into working with big CEOs like you, and then also giving back to the sales industry, helping these guys, almost like a golden door diet situation.
Yeah. And then brought Dave here. So kind of your background. He's like the size of a tank. So,
I've been a competitive bodybuilder for almost 10 years now. I've worked in the health and food industry for a while. Certified nutritionist, personal trainer. And I've done that for a while. And I've been friends with Brad for going on 5 years now. Like we've been training partners since before, the COVID era. And I've helped him with his nutrition the last while, and it was just like that spark of, oh wow, let's help other people, like more people can benefit from this. Like Brad said, like with the door-to-door side of things, like you guys are busting your ass to make things happen. And a lot of times things get set to the wayside. They don't really need to be, and helping people figure that out where, especially like getting your hormones replaced, you're going to help you feel better. But the other side of that coin is also going to be like what you eat is also what you feel.
Yeah.
And aligning those actions lead to really good outcomes. And that's just awesome to see.
Yeah. So I think it's interesting. So the guys, we're doing a experiment, I guess you could say. Mm-hmm. And this morning I got my blood tested and they came here today and I was like, let's make this a podcast and then you can follow along because we'll do another podcast and some before and after photos of what can I do between now and Door-to-Door Con. So it's October 21st right now. So we'll kind of launch this week. So it's literally 90-day transformation. So it's like, okay, Sam, can you dial down, especially during the holidays, all the things that are happening? Can we like get some discipline? And I was like, I need some kind of like accountability. Like when somebody says, hey, Sam, take your shirt off at Door-to-Door Con, I'm like, oh shit. Like that to me is like something different than like, hey, Sam, you've always wanted a six pack or you've always wanted, like I've had a six pack barely, but it's like, I'm not as like gung ho. Like some of you guys listening to this are like F the gym, F fitness, and you're too fat. Like good for you. Like, and that's your world. And some of you guys are like obsessed. I found that sales and fitness tend to kind of go hand in hand. And so I thought it'd be an interesting episode, guys, like that almost used me as the experiment dummy. So I've always been kind of like nervous of peptides and TRT and all that other stuff. I'm like, dude, I'm 35. Like I'm nervous getting into that too young. And I think this is where some people, they're 22, they're like, I need the juice and I need, like, holy crap, dude. Like there's byproducts or there's, repercussions to a lot of this. Right. And I think some people abuse it. Some people use it too much. Some people, whatever. And so I've just been like, I'm not doing any of that. And so this morning I was like, okay, like we'll take a 90-day experiment, go test my levels and what they come back at. I don't even know. Like this is part of the experiment is listen. And then you almost could go through a similar thing. If you guys want, hit these guys up, Vitality Heart. What's the best way to hit you guys up?
Send a DM. And then our website is live. So you can go on and request information. It just comes to me and I reach out.
So on Instagram at VTLTY HRT. And hit these guys up. And they can do a similar process to what they're doing with me. And at the end of the day, like they're coming to Door-to-Door Con. And I was like, bro, like let's do an experiment. So this is... So yeah, tell me kind of where we're at.
Okay, so like two things I want to touch on. One, you said, hey, there's a lot of sales guys are like, you mentioned like too gung-ho either way. So one thing that's super cool is I've been a competitive powerlifter and bodybuilder. I have a degree in exercise physiology. I've been in this space for 20 years, like just as a passion. Always did door-to-door. The last like year and a half, we basically did a self-experiment on me. I've done very drastic things with my body in the past. We did it the easiest way, most simple way possible. So like I just did a bodybuilding show. It was great. I was super, super lean until the very, very end. It wasn't difficult. So like we didn't like slash calories. We just slowly did it. And I was a husband, a father, a salesman, an entrepreneur, a business owner. And then I just happened to be dieting for a show. So that's my goal with you is to establish habits that you chip away slowly like a statue, just chipping away at the granite. And you can just be who you are. It doesn't have to be your identity. And you can get huge, huge results.
Yeah, because the byproduct is you look good, you feel good, you sell well, you have more confidence. Like there's so much that comes through health and business, running a bit. Like if you're an entrepreneur and you're like overweight, I just don't take you serious. Like
I'm glad you said that.
I just say how it is. Like I'm like, oh, but your life's all together. I'm like, no, it isn't. Like you're 350 pounds. Like let's just be real. You know what I mean? So I'm not trying to throw shade. I'm not trying to say everybody take your shirt off. Like what I'm getting at is
because that's not what it's about.
We judge regardless.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We kind of segue into your hormones. You mentioned like young guys getting on stuff too early. So I just had 2 young guys come through. I met with him, just was visiting my buddy at a solar company yesterday in Orem. And he was like, what would you recommend? He told me his previous test levels. I'm like, how old are you? He's like 22. I go, let's try something else, more natural, still hormone replacement therapy, to see if we can get you in a better place before we stick you on testosterone forever. So Sam's levels are absolutely excellent. You care if I share?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So his total testosterone was around 800. So in that range, as a friend, unless you're going to be a competitive bodybuilder and you wanted to jump on a bunch of stuff, which I don't recommend, we shouldn't do anything. In the future, at 45, 50, you could and probably will, because of environmental and stress and all things, you may end up on injectable testosterone in the future. As of right now, there's no reason to do so. You're great.
Which is, I think, important, because some people are like, oh, but give it to me anyway, which I think is like, it's cool to know. I'm like, cool, I had to go get a shot. They said 800. And like, what's interesting is simultaneously this morning, you met Hunter Clark yesterday. He was in my mastermind. He did our mastermind call and he talked about porn. And he was like, what's crazy is he's like, I was able to find more intimacy with my wife and more like connection as a man and start to pay attention to my emotions. And it actually 150% increased my testosterone. He went from like 250 to like 500 or 600 just naturally, where the doctors were like, hey, you can only, the most we can naturally help you is 15%. And I think there's ways that people don't realize, like, your testosterone is driven on a few things, and it's not just age, or it's not just, it could be diet, right? Like a natural element of like, what are you eating? And a natural could be stress, right? Isn't there other things that dictate genetic?
Even just ambition.
Yeah.
Men are really funny that way, because like we've done actually, there's a lot of studies that we can look up, but if you have a drive and a passion for something, you have more testosterone.
Which makes sense.
And so like, you know, if you're passionate about something, you're goal oriented, your testosterone levels will be higher, because that's what your body has a reason for doing things. If you don't have a goal and all you do is sit around and don't do anything, they dive, you know? And so there's a reason behind our body's processes. You know, if you have a reason to be alive, your body's like, let's be effing alive. You know?
Yeah, I love that.
Versus like, if you just are sitting there just mindlessly going through porn on, you know, that's all you do all day. Like, no shit, you're going to have low testosterone. You know, your body doesn't have a reason to be alive. You're just artificially, you know, tanking your test.
Yeah. It's so, like, I thought that was an interesting thing that I learned just in that context. So now what?
And I just met Hunter yesterday, and I didn't know that either.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. So it's a really like mental health, physical health, these crutches, these things that men suffer with, that, you know, I was a part of an amazing group this last year. I learned a lot of people are going through a lot of things, like, and porn's one of them. Everybody just suffers their own thing and nobody talks about it.
Yeah.
So we know generally what you want to do. Your hormones are great. So Dave's going to come over later on the conversation. He's going to go over a general plan, and then he's going to formulate your plan when we get your height, weight, and pictures tomorrow. He's going to do a diet and an exercise plan. Obviously, you've read, oh my gosh, Michael Jordan, it's slipping on my mind. Michael Jordan's trainer.
Oh, Relentless?
Relentless. You've read Relentless, right? Do you remember that section of the book where he's like, he outlined Michael Jordan, what they're going to do to him?
Yeah. He's
like, we're going to give you a diet. We're going to give you a training plan. We're going to let you know what it's going to do to you, how it's going to affect. Luckily, you're not a professional athlete. You're a professional entrepreneur.
Yep.
So we have a little bit more leeway. We can push you a little bit harder than pushing Michael Jordan. We don't have to affect that. So I want to start with, you mentioned a few things, not super personal, but like you mentioned, like doing 75 hard and not getting to where you wanted to be, not making change. So I guess this what do we want to accomplish?
Yeah, this was a frustrating story, guys. In January, I started the day after DoorCon. Basically, I was like, I'm doing 75 hard, blah, blah, blah. I got to 72 days in. I failed at day 72. And honestly, it was I forgot my pages. And it sucks when you do that. But like, I remember D texting me a photo around day 70 of me a year prior. And I almost looked better than me right after doing full 75 hard progress photo every day kind of thing. And I was like, are you effing kidding me? Like, I was doing 2-day workouts and like, you know, you do your cardio, you do that. And I'm just like, no matter how hard I work or not, like, I don't feel like I change. I'm literally between 175 and 180. And I've ran Ironmans. I've done, you know, weightlifting stuff. Like, you know what I mean? I'm just like, it's the same.
Mark your calendars and grab your tickets because we are back on January 22nd through the 24th, 2026 in Salt Lake City, Utah. 3 days where industry legends, top CEOs, and breakthrough innovators gather to share the strategies shaping our industry. Witness the prestigious Golden Door Awards honoring the elite performers who've achieved what others only dream of. Network with over 2,800 door-to-door professionals across all industries ranging from solar, roofing, fiber, alarms, pest control, HVAC, and beyond. Founded by Sam Taggart, this is where careers are transformed and million-dollar connections are made. Visit D2DCon.com, click the D2DCon 9 button at the top right, and secure your spot at the most important event in direct sales. Use promo code podcast to receive a 20% discount on your ticket purchase. That's D2DCon.com, promo code podcast. Now, back to the show.
I could already assume, because 99% of the people that talk to us, one of the first questions they always ask, like, hey, what pre-workout are you taking? Or like, all these things that actually don't matter. And my first question is, what did you have for breakfast? So there is far more variables on the nutrition side that matter the most. The fueling your body, fueling training, fueling muscle growth, fueling fat loss. There's all the variables over here. If they're perfectly controlled, we can almost guarantee what your body's going to look like and how you're going to perform. Okay. Now, if you don't eat the prescription, if there's any degree of variance, if there's 5 degree of variance on your diet, then there will be a 5 degree variance on your results. So I already know, without even asking you, that's what was missing. I
didn't follow a meal plan. I just said no sugar, which didn't even include artificial sugar.
Yeah. I think we should say this to whatever camera's looking. We need to say this. I think 75 hard is amazing for mental fortitude.
Yeah. I did it. Yeah, exactly. Not the body transformation.
Yeah. So you mentioned 6-pack, you mentioned a few different things. I can assume, because most men are always like, if you could snap your finger, most men would like to be leaner and bigger. To what degree that varies between different men. We have 3 different size guys here. So in the next 90 days, if you could say perfect outcome.
I would say I weigh the same. I weigh between 175 and 180. I don't think I need to get necessarily bigger.
Yeah.
I think I bet you if I got on a thing right now, I'm probably 19% body fat would be my guess. I don't know, 22 in that range.
We'll see pictures.
We'll see. Yeah. And then get to 12, 13. I've never been there. You know what I mean?
Cool.
Is that a fair, reasonable 90
that's definitely doable.
That's a doable thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, the nice thing about that is, well, looking at your blood work, I know you're sensitive to carbohydrates. You're not, your body's really receptive to, just from seeing that, I know that when you dial in your training the way it should be, and you fuel your body, fuel your body does not mean like I can't have stuff. It means you need to eat the right things, right? And that means we can drive performance higher, because I could bet you're not utilizing performance at the best you can. I'm just taking a guess. Like, I'm legitimately looking at a paper and I've never even seen you train.
Yeah.
Right. But just from that, I'm like, I know I can feed him more. So,
Dave, will you go through like?
Yeah. What do you mean?
So like, because we know this. What do you mean by like? So fueling. We've seen this with our buddy Caleb. Who we've implemented.
So my favorite analogy when it comes to training is, if you take a car to the drag race, it needs a full tank of gas.
Yeah.
And a lot of times when we get to the gym, we just got off work. We haven't eaten since noon. It's 4:00. We're headed right to the gym. We're going to go floor our gas pedal, right? We're a car on empty.
Yeah.
How fast does your car go when there's no gas in the thing? It doesn't matter what engine you have.
Where I work out in the morning and I intermittent fast, I don't eat till... Exactly. Well, I don't like necessarily intermittent fast. I just don't eat breakfast.
Yeah.
Because somewhere in my mind, it was like, oh, that's a way to save on calories.
Yeah. Exactly. So like, just like legitimately having you have like, a mixed balanced meal in the morning of a decent amount of carbs, let that digest a second and go train, is going to allow you to have more performance, because your body's like, oh, cool. We have gas, so now we can actually use the muscles how we need to. And that's like the craziest concept, because we all know, like, when it comes to changing your body, you have to do something you haven't done before.
Yeah.
But like, if we're like in that analogy of the race car, like you're never going to hit your top speed if you don't have enough gas. So like you could be training to your best extent, but you're not training to your fullest extent because you don't have the gas for it.
Okay.
And that's where you change, is when you hit that full extent versus your effort isn't, the effort's the same. You're just not able to push the gas pedal down as far because you don't have the gas for it.
So how do you see that in blood work?
So your A1C was really low.
What?
Your A1C. So it's basically the amount of sugar attached to your red blood cell. So that means that's a great, honestly, is a great thing. That means you don't have a lot of blood or sugar attached to your red blood cell.
You're the opposite of a diabetic.
Yes.
Okay.
So your body's really sensitive to carbohydrates. So when you eat carbs, they actually go to where they're supposed to, versus someone with a high reading, they're diabetic, they don't utilize insulin that well. So your hormones are already in a good spot. Like you have good testosterone, you're not insulin, you are insulin sensitive. Meaning, so like when you eat carbs, they actually go where they should.
They do what they're supposed to.
Go to the muscle versus to fat. Right?
Okay, vulnerability moment. Is it just me, or is sugar so addicting? Like I struggle with sweets, like here and there. Like maybe not here and there. Like when I eat a candy, I want 12 of them. If I don't eat sugar, I'm fine. Mm-hmm. But the second I start, I'm just like, holy crap, I want all of it. Mm-hmm. Is that a weird addiction thing, or is that a blood sugar thing?
It is it's a mixed bag of both. I mean, sweets taste good.
It's just a
right.
taste.
You eat a donut, you're like, oh, this is nice.
Okay.
You know? And that honestly is you're just eliciting a dopamine response. And that's kind of fun part of sociology, right? Is what we do with that dopamine response. Like you obviously get a hit from making sales.
Yeah.
You know, that's what makes you like, oh yeah, that makes me happy. Right? I sold something.
Yes,
I'm progressing that way. You know, a lot of people don't have that drive, but they get some kind of hit from food. And that's why we have people who weigh 900 pounds.
Yeah.
You know, that's the problem.
Yeah.
Is they're getting their body's entire psychology is based off like, this makes me feel good right now. And I'm doing it right now.
Smash the button all day long, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, versus the real dopamine comes from the opposite of that. Not having something right now for later, right? You do a lot of work on the back end to have the end goal.
Yeah.
Right. You're not immediately making a sale. You don't just wake up and make a sale. You wake up, there's a process, and you follow the process. And that's why you feel good, is because of the process. And that's where with food, it's kind of an interesting one, like a candy bar is the process is just having the candy bar, you know?
But there was no process to get there.
Exactly. So it's just artificial.
Yes.
So it's not what candy bars are bad or that. It's just the realizing what that feeling is, just like you could dive really into that, or just realize it's just food, right?
Yep.
Be like, all right, cool. I didn't really, this tastes good. And that's what it is. Or, the opposite of like, this tastes good, so I need more of it. And I don't ever want to, not feel this feeling. So I'm just going to constantly eat candy bars.
Yeah.
The last year, Dave knows I've always been quite disciplined. The last year and a half has been a quite meditative process because I did this whole transformation pretty quietly. It was very just me and Dave, honestly. So I text him at 5, 6 in the morning, just do my check-ins. And I just have gotten to probably the best. I'm 36 years old. I've always had a fairly good relationship with food, but I have like the best relationship with food right now. I could admire things like candy bars, but they don't serve me right now. I'm just right now I just did a bodybuilding show. So now I'm taking my wife out to eat once a week. I don't think about it all week. I tried it a couple days before I plan, get reservations, whatever. It's about the connection, and then also enjoying a burger, right? Because like our burger's bad every day, they're bad. They're really, really good to have with a loved one once a week.
Yeah,
that type of thing.
Yeah, the honesty is the habit you're building, right? Like he said, the reason behind the food is connection. It's not like, and that's like the really hard part about food is it is a drug, but you can't avoid it.
Yes.
Right. It's not like, okay, don't do cocaine. It's like, okay, cool. I just won't do cocaine. Like it's not just a hard stop. Or I won't do that. You can't just
avoid it. Yeah.
You're not eating is gonna, that's another problem. Right. So it's an addiction what you have to manage.
Yeah.
If that makes sense with food. And the thought process behind that is the habit you build, you know, because it goes both ways. If you restrict super hard, you're like, I will only eat kale and grass-fed anything, right? At some point, you're going to be like, screw that. I'm having all the things I can't have. Where it's looking at food as good or bad, it's all actually kind of like a gray area, right? Yeah. Because it's
fuel.
It's all fuel. There's a purpose behind it. So there's, you know, and when you realize what that purpose is, it gives you a way to find that action. What do you go towards, you know? And that's like, a lot of people don't have a purpose behind their food. So they get lost and, you know, end up with more addiction. So that kind of goes back to habits, right? There's nothing wrong with food at all, but you're just utilizing it for your benefit.
Yeah.
In like, okay, if I want to have abs by, you know, D2D, right? Maybe this snack doesn't suit me well, and maybe this other thing does. It's not so much of good versus bad. It's
what serves me.
What am I doing? Right? Exactly.
What do I care more about?
Exactly. You know, and there's no bad food. It's all of it
comes out. That's just a life principle, though. It's like, do I go knock more doors today, or do I go home and chill? You know what I mean? What do I care most about? Being number one or just getting by? You know what I mean? And I think that's just so applicable to like so many things, because it's like so often we get stuck in this. We don't actually think, we just do. And it's like, I even think about eating and I'm like, we just eat. We don't think about it. And it's like, whatever's in front of us, I'll finish.
Right.
And I think that's been my habit and my practice is like, whatever's in front of me, I finish. Okay, so let's wrap, because I got to go and pick up my girl. It's her birthday today. So,
awesome. Well then, if you don't mind, let's go through just a very, I want to wrap up like some sort of like diet prescription, kind of like go over like a general game plan.
So I definitely want to keep you fueled throughout the day. So I always like starting around your workouts. If you're training first thing in the morning, I would really like to have you implement some kind of carb source. Do you train first thing in the morning? Or do you wake up and go?
Wake up and train at like 7.
Okay, what time do you wake up?
5:30.
Oh, cool. I would definitely have you wake up.
Hydrate?
Yeah, hydrate, and then have a quick, easy, like it could just be like a protein shake meal. You know, weigh in some oatmeal, just an easy, doesn't even require thought kind of meal. Also to help you hydrate because it's in liquid form.
Yeah, I try to drink like a big glass of water. I take my vitamins when I wake up.
Yep.
And
so
then
big glass of water, vitamins, easy to digest meal, head to the gym, and then drink something what is sugary while you train, so you have more.
Like a pre-workout.
Pre-workout or intra-workout for say, right? It doesn't need to have caffeine. If you want the caffeine in the morning for training, that's totally fine because that kind of aligns with what you're doing, right? Depends on how hyped you are. Like, I generally wake up and I'm usually an early bird. So like I don't need AM caffeine. I kind of like midday caffeine.
Yeah, I'm like 4 p.m. caffeine.
That's where I'm at. Yeah, that's usually where I'm at. I like that end point. So getting with it, back to time, right? I could go on a tangent there. And then just having moderate protein, moderate carb, moderate fat meals for the rest of the day, just to keep your body fueled and recovering.
So is it like a big lunch or is it more like small? Because I've heard mix. It's like 5 meals a day versus like one massive lunch.
What works best for you?
Usually like a good lunch.
Yeah.
Like, because Kimberly just orders me whatever. Like I just show up. She's like, here's your food. So she can take the thinking out of it. And you say, Kimberly, you order him these things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then bring him home with this.
Yeah, we're gonna do an intake because you're super successful. Yeah. You've helped, thousands of door-to-door reps. Like you have the means. You've crushed it. I haven't seen much post about your real estate. You've crushed it in real estate in the past. You've just done well. So like there's a lot of things that you have the means to do that are not like crazy expensive, but are outside other people's means to make diet and exercise really easy. Yeah. There's meal plans we can do. Like there's subscription service. Like there's bulk protein that you can buy, and we can make your life really easy. And Kimberly's going to be a key component in that.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Yeah, 1% Fitness has been like at D2D every year. It's like, why don't we just hit up Rob and be like, bro?
It's a connection that I am,
I'll make the connection. He's just done. Yeah.
And then, just eat and obviously, like if your goal is to have like a weight loss challenge, you're going to have to eat a little bit differently than your peers because their goal is not that. And like realizing that's why you're doing that, you know? So like you said, like 1% Fitness, awesome company, you know, and really easy to know what's going in your body. Because when it comes down to it, knowing what you're eating is trackable and then changeable. If you don't know the metrics, you can't change anything, right?
It's a good call.
Like if you don't know how many doors you're knocking, how you supposed to know your metrics, right? Yeah. Like if you don't know, like you don't know. You can't change what you don't know.
Okay. Well, you tell me the quantities.
Yeah. I want to give an example that I explain this to people because they're like, I eat whatever Dave tells me to do. I have my own stuff to deal with. Dave tells me what to eat, and I eat it perfectly. Yeah. So if one of my meals has say 200 grams of rice, a change that Dave will make on a weekly basis, he'll be like, okay, keep doing what you're doing. Take out 50 grams of rice. That's the change. And over the course of 2 weeks, that leads to a drastic change in my body because I eat perfectly. And so that's all we have to do is just, if you eat the same meals every single day, then he can make small changes. And then that results in a change.
We got 3 months.
Yeah, exactly. And it's, it's a matter of just like knowing what you're doing and then making it trackable and changeable. Because that's where all results come from.
Okay. Well, I got a dip, but guys,
this is blast.
This is good times. And again, hit up Vitality Heart, take out the valves, and we'll see you guys at DoorCon, and we will see you guys in this journey.
We'll be at DoorCon.
We'll be posting. It'll be fun.
Sweet.
All love. We'll see you.